coach Burt, Paddock, and Kevin Rich.
Not sure I can tell you this, but I'd just assume him not take more shots this year when we play him. I know that for sure. I've seen enough of those things get rained in on us. You had mentioned the thing about us this being our last year in the WAC, and I'll be honest with you, it's kind of a bittersweet thing for me. We look forward to where we're going and all those things, but this is my first head coaching job, and having been here for 8 years, I can't tell you the appreciation that I have for every coach, every team that we've played in our league, whether it be Cornerstone or Aquinas or teams on the east side or teams in Ohio. Those teams have made us better. I know every day in the summer when we're talking about recruiting, when we're talking about can this kid work for us or whatever it is, we're always trying to compare, like, what are other teams doing? And I know that those other teams have raised the bar such that it's made us work a lot harder, and it's made our staff and our program that much better by the hard work and the effort that all these other teams in our conference have put in. Just to reiterate on what Coach said, I think the WAC is one of, if not the best conference in the country. I know people talk about the crossroads, but our lower level teams have really upped the ante a little bit, and our best teams in there have just been great year in and year out. And for that, like I said, it's made us a lot better as coaches and stuff, and I appreciate that. In regards to our team this year, we did lose Dominez Burnett. You never know how that's going to go. I also lost Corey's brother, Nate Cox, who was a first-team All-American, and you always wonder that next year, what's it going to be like? There's some jitters there, but it's also an exciting time. As the Aquinas guys said, I think other guys in your program, guys that maybe are new guys or returners, now get to show maybe what they didn't get to in the past for whatever reason. And I'm super excited about our team. We have 8 kids in our program that have played in the Final Four. We have 4 different kids in our program that have actually started in the Final Four that are returning to our team. So we have a lot of experience returning. We've added some very good pieces to the puzzle, we think. We had 7-foot Hadim Jing, who's a local kid who went to Western Michigan. Didn't work out for him. He redshirted the last semester last year, and now he's available for us. We added Javon Haynes, who was the second leading scorer in the country in junior college last year. He's a fantastic player, really fast. I won't compare him to Dominez Burnett. They're totally different types of players, but in the same right, he's a really good player that can really score a lot of points. We also had a high school kid that'll play a ton for us, Robbie Bramhill, a Canadian kid who's about 6'8". No offense, Kevin, but he's probably one of the best, if not the best shooter I've ever been around. That's a lot to say since he's never taken the floor yet. That kid can really shoot the ball. And so we're really excited. We had another junior college kid, another high school kid from Kalamazoo who will fill spots for us. But we feel really good that we're 10-11 deep again this year. And hopefully we can keep up with everybody in the conference, but I really like where we're starting at from right now. Any questions?
Burt, how do you address for the current team, especially for seniors? Because at the same time, you're thinking about the program moving forward as a coach, you have to do that. But addressing that, this year with the WAC and how you want to go on.
Yeah, I think every year, it's funny, my guys probably think I'm on point too much. I don't care who we're playing, when we're playing. We want to win every game. I don't care if we're playing for a national championship or a cookie. I want to win that thing, and that's kind of the way I've approached it since the first day I got to campus. And I think that's bled into our team, and I think our coaches approach everything that way. We want to try to be the best we can every day in practice. So I don't really know if we have said, hey, this is our last year, let's make sure we try to do anything. We try to be the best we can be in practice every single day, and if we do that, I know that's cliche, but if we do that, then the end result will come, and we'll win a lot of games. We'll have a great experience.
You addressed already a little bit losing Dominez.
Who?
Yeah. He obviously scored a ton of points, but I'm pretty sure he led you rebounds, assists, steals. He pretty much did everything. How do you go about beginning to fill that void?
Well, you don't replace one guy with another one. It's by a process of several guys filling in. We've talked about everybody, going from averaging 3 rebounds to 4 rebounds. And if 5 guys do that, okay, there's the 5 rebounds he averaged a game, and so on and so on. I don't think the Bulls have ever replaced Michael Jordan. I'm not comparing Dominez to Michael Jordan, but in our program, maybe. But I love our guys' attitude. We've got a lot of guys that are wanting to challenge each other in practice. Our first 9-10 practices here, I thought they were the best practices we've ever had since I've been there, because there was such a competitive environment in there. And I think that our coaches have done an incredible job recruiting. Again, I'm not going to compare anybody to Dominez, but we've got some really, really good players. And I think you'll see that as our season comes along, that different guys will step up at different times in different ways to help us get where we want to go.
So does that change your style of play also, offensively and defensively? I mean, you play more of a zone, you go to man, whatever. Does that change too?
That's a good question. It's funny when we're in the recruiting process, you always get parents saying, what's your style like? And I always say that, if I was at Michigan State or Duke or somewhere, you have your style because you can get any players you want. You keep the same style every year. I think at our level that we're at now, and even where we're going, you just try to get the best players you can get, and then you try to tailor a style that fits that team. And I think every year, even when Dominez was playing for us, every year things tweaked and you changed things to make it work for your group, whether it was all playing fast, playing slow, running sets, running a motion offense, whatever it was. And then the same thing defensively, what works for that individual. Each team is different. And I think this team, even though it's way different, we've got some things we're really good at that maybe we weren't as good last year. And in the way we play, we found some things that we're really excited about as we move into these first few games here in the next couple of weeks.
I'll ask you the same thing I asked Cornerstone. This being the last year playing Cornerstone, probably, do you cherish those games more than you did before?
I cherish competition with anyone, but as I said before, and all the teams, but Coach E and all of his players have set a very high bar in our conference before I was here, while I'm here. After we leave, they'll still set an incredibly high bar. Coming into this game, I would be amiss if I told you it wasn't an exciting time. It's always the best crowd. It's always the best environment. I know my wife and kids are more excited that morning than they did. I don't know why. I mean, okay, all right, I better be fired up myself. Because it does kind of unite our community there at Davenport on that week, and people get excited about it. And so, yeah, I'll miss it. Hopefully we can find a way in the future to maybe piece some games together where we can still continue to play every once in a while. I don't know if we can make that happen every year, but it's such a good thing for the community and the people and the kids that are on the teams. If we could make that happen every once in a while, I think that would be a really good thing for both programs.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of new to the area, so I'm sorry I don't know everyone's name, but it looks like you have a lot of players who shoot a really high field goal percentage, but maybe not take as many shots, obviously, last year because you had someone like him present. Do you find it maybe difficult to make those kids a little more selfish offensively to get used to taking that many more shots?
That's an interesting question because I think sometimes when you lose a guy like that, you try to find out who's that guy going to be in crucial moments. Like when it's a 2-point game with a minute to go, you know who's taking the shot for this team or for that team. But I think that's a part of the growing curve on our team. Who is going to be that guy? And I think over the course of time, as you play it out, as you play games, you go through practice and you have your scrimmages before the season starts, you as a coaching staff, you start learning stuff about your players and what kids are willing to do and what kids want to do and what kids just, that's not their makeup. And it's part of the learning curve, and it's our job as coaches to make sure we figure that out and put kids in positions to be successful.
In the national semifinal, you guys had a 1-point loss. In that game, Dominez didn't play a whole lot. Had points-wise one of his lowest totals. How important was it to see other guys step up in those moments?
Well, hopefully everybody understands. That's kind of where I'm going with this whole thing. I think we have a really talented team. Like in the 2 games that he didn't play well or didn't play at all last year, were probably when our team might have played the very best. And again, I get back to it's because we have great kids on our team that were so unselfish to allow him to do what he did last year. Just really excited for everybody to see what our team can do this year and in the weeks ahead.
Any other questions? Kevin, go ahead.
Kevin, talk about your Davenport experience and your career there, the successes you've had, and also off of what Burt was saying in leadership and how important that is for your team, for you going forward.
Right. Well, I think I'm grateful for the people that have been around since I've been here. I've had some great teammates, guys like Dominez, Burnett, Javante Ford, who was there when I was younger. They made my job a lot easier. I was thinking when they were talking about Cornerstone's playing style, or Corey, how his game fits into their system. Like I don't even know what a system that I fit into is anymore. It's kind of I've always just been able to feed off of those other guys, and then being around those guys have also helped me develop as a leader more because those are some of the best leaders I've been around, or I think anyone could be around. Javante Ford. I mean, we talk about him every single day about how great of a leader he was. But just I think how my role has developed each year has helped me learn a little bit more each year, and like I said, Dominez made my job really easy. He was an unbelievable player, but now this year I have a different role than I've had last year and the year before that. So it's just each year trying to learn something new and then build that upon what I've been able to do in the past.
Probably similar to Corey, you're going to get more shots this year, I would guess. Just how do you expect your role to be different this season without Dominez on the team?
I think I'll have to do more. I don't know if it's necessarily going to always be more shots because I do think we have a lot of other guys in our team that are going to be able to step up. But I think a couple more rebounds, maybe going off the bounce a little bit more, trying to get some more assists, little stuff like that. Obviously, there's going to be a couple more shots here and there, but I think that's also something we're still trying to figure out. We haven't played with Dominez in a couple of years, at least I haven't. So it's just kind of learning who is that guy that we're going to go to in the last 2 minutes. who are those guys that are going to be able to knock down shots, and just kind of figuring out where, even though I've been here forever, figuring out where I fit within them. So right now, I don't know if I'm going to be able, if I'm taking 5 more shots a game, or whether it's I just need to get 5 more rebounds or whatever. Just trying to figure out my piece to the puzzle.
You had a really strong tournament in the Nationals last year and stepped up. What are some of the things you worked on in the off season to prepare yourself for your senior year?
Well, I think the way that I did play in the national tournament last year, I was talking to Coach about this. It was kind of just a different playing style than I did during the season. I kind of made myself get involved in different ways, and that's kind of what I focused on moving into this year. Is I was getting rebounds and not necessarily just staying with it and passing with the outlet, trying to push a little bit in transition, get out and running more in transition, getting open layups, and that makes the defense focus a little bit more on me, so then maybe other guys are getting open shots. So just trying to be more involved in my all-around game rather than just catch and shoot, which I've been able to do the last couple of years. So just trying to, I guess, be more of a complete player than just trying to take a back seat to someone else.
More questions, Ben? All right. Thanks, guys.